1/4 of the area. So that means 12,000 into 1/4. So we'll have it is 3,000. So the rent for one machines we'll get. So we are calculating the earnings for 8 hours. So we'll calculate what is the standard production for 8 hours. So 120 units into 8 hours, your standard production it is 960 units. So for A, actual production 800, standard production 960 into 100, your rate of efficiency it is 83.33%. Hello dear student, welcome to the session. My name is Krupa MD, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So we are discussing the fundamentals of cost accounting here. So in the today's revision session, we are going to discuss about all the 10 marks question that's been asked in the previous year 2025 question paper. So you can also expect the same type of questions this year's examination also. So what are the 10 marks questions that we have here in this subject here? That is, one, it is your machine hour rate statement. They might change certain adjustment or they might change the certain amounts in the statement, but the one question definitely you can expect, it is the preparation of machine hour rate statement. And another question that you can expect, it is the Taylor's and the Merrick differential piece rate system. Along with that, you also have this Halsey's and Rowan's premium plan. So that we have discussed in detail in the concept classes also. That also both the concept and the labor cost unit that you need to study. And one more question it is asked, it is about the cost sheet. So if the cost sheet they have asked for the 10 marks, then the estimated cost sheet that you can expect for the 15 marks. So in the last year question paper, your detailed cost sheet, it's been asked for 10 marks. So in the today's sessions, I'll simply explain how to solve these questions. So here 10 marks first question, compute the machine hour rate from the following data. The cost of the machine is 5 lakh. The installation charges, it is 50,000, and estimated scrap value after the expiry of its life of 15 years is 25,000. So these details, it is given for the calculation of depreciation. And then rent and rates for the shop per month it is given. Suppose if your base period is year, all the monthly expenses that you will convert for the year. So always you need to be very clear, when your base period is for 1 year, all the expenses you take, that also you have to consider for 1 year. And then you have a general lighting for the shop, it is 1,500 per month. Then insurance premium for the machine, it is 4,800 per annum. Then repairs and maintenance expenses, it is 5,000 per annum. Then power consumption, it is 10 units per hour. So for 1 hour, the total units consumption, it is 10 units. And what is the rate of power? Per 100 units, it is rupees 100. So for 1 unit, how much? So simply, it is rupees 100 divided by 100 unit. So you will get rupee 1. It is the power consumption for 1 hour or for 1 unit. Next we have estimated working hours per annum. So that means total number of working hours of the machine for year, it is 2,200 hours. Next, this includes setting up time of 200 hours. So when we take the machine hour rate calculation, we need to know what is exactly the working hours of the machine in a year. So in a year total it is 2,200 hours. In this 200 hours, it is spent for the installation or it is spent for the setting up of the machine. So the actual running time of the machine per year, it is 2,000. So we have to deduct the setting up time of the machine. So what is the actual working hours of machine in a year? It is 2,000 hours. So for 2,000 hours, what is the machine hour rate? So that we need to calculate here. So the shop supervisor salary per month, it is 3,000. Then machine occupies 1/4 of the total area of the shop. So that means in the total shop, the area occupied by this machine, it is 1/4. So always remember, when we prepare the machine array statement, it is for one machine that we are calculating. So in that shop, there may be the number of different machines. So in that shop, what is the cost of the machine rate for one machine that we need to calculate? So that means your rent, your lighting, everything, it is paid for the whole shop. So in that, what is the cost or what is the rent of one machine that we need to take? Next, the supervisor is expected to devote 1/5 of his time towards this machine, that is supervising this machine. So in the total supervising charges, only 1/5 of his time he is devoted to this particular machine. So we will consider only 1/5 of your supervisor salary. So these are the questions that we have. So the here important thing, when we prepare the machine rate statement, we have all the kind of expenses, your rent, lighting, insurance, supervisor salaries and everything. In the total given expenses, your depreciation, repairs and power. Only these three charges that you will write it under the variable cost. Apart from all the expenses, apart from these three, all the remaining expenses, you need to consider or you need to write it under the fixed charges. So here in the solution part, so here the machine rate statement for the machine. So the base period here it is per year. So that means your normal working hours of the machine. See here, the normal working hours of the machine, it is 2,200 per hour. It is for the per year. So that means your base period is year and normal working hours, it is 2,000. That means your total 2,200 is the working hours. In that 200 hours spent for the setting up. So we'll deduct that 200. So the normal working hours, it is 2,000. Then we need to divide the two kind of expenses. One, it is fixed charges and second one is the variable charges. So under fixed charges, you will write all the expenses and under variable, you will have only three, your depreciation, repairs and power. Rest of all the expenses, you will write it under fixed charges. So you have here, one it is, first we have the rent and rates for the shop per month. So per month it is 1,000. First we'll convert for the 1 year. So that is 1,000 into 12 month. It is 12,000. And what is the space occupied by this machine? So the rent it is means it is paid for the whole shop. And in that shop we are calculating only for the one machine. So here it is given machine occupies 1/4 of the area. So that means 12,000 into 1/4. So we'll have it is 3,000. So the rent for one machines we will get. Then next we have it is general lighting for the shop. It is 1,500 per month. So lighting it is 1,500 per month. So we are considering it is 12 month. So the total it is 18,000. So your total will have 18,000. In this, what is the again? What is the space occupied by this machine? That is 1/4. So that means lighting it is 18,000. It is paid for the whole factory. And in that factory, 1/4 of the place or the space that is occupied by this machine. So 18,000 into 1/4 will get 4,500. So the lighting charges we have taken. Next, we have insurance premium for the machine. It is 4,800. So that we'll take it directly because it is assumed that 4,800 insurance, it is paid for one machine. So that is 4,800. Then next we have shop supervisor salary per month. It is 3,000. So your supervisor salary 3,000. It is per month into 12 month. So we'll get here it is 36,000 whole year supervisor salary. And in this, here it is given the supervisor is expected to devote 1/5 of his time towards this machine. So that means what? Your 36,000 into 1/5, only 1/5 of his time is spending towards monitoring this machine. So 36,000 into 1/5. So the amount you're getting here, it is 7,200. So we have written all the fixed charges. So we have only 1, 2, 3, 4 fixed charges here: rent, lighting, insurance and the supervisor. And rest of the remaining that we're going to write under the variable cost or the variable charges. So we'll take the total of this one. The total comes to 19,500. So that is your total fixed charges, 19,500. Next, we'll convert the fixed charges per hour. What is the fixed charges for 1 hour? All these expenses, we are going to write it under the total cost column. Next, we need to convert this total cost for 1 hour. So therefore, total fixed charges 19,500 divided by number of working hours, that is 2,000. So here we have taken number of working hours, it is 2,000. So 19,500 total fixed charge divided by 2,000 hours. So your machine hour rate per hour, it is 9.75. So that is the total fixed charges per hour. Next, we'll take the variable charges. So as I said earlier, your variable charges always you will have only 3. One, it is the depreciation, repairs and the power. So first we'll see the depreciation. So we have one working note. See the depreciation, how to calculate the depreciation here. So always you had a formula to calculate the depreciation, that is cost of the machine plus if there is any installation cost minus your scrap value of the machine divided by estimated life of the machine. So you will get the depreciation per year. So here cost of the machine, it is given in a question. So the cost of the machine, it is 5 lakh plus installation cost 50,000. Then estimated scrap value of the machine, it is 25,000 and estimated life is 15 years. So 5 lakh plus 50,000 minus 25,000 divided by estimated life 15 years. So your depreciation per year, it is 35,000. So we'll come back to the statement. Your depreciation per year, it is 35,000. All these variable charges, we are not going to write it under the total cost column. So always your variable charges, we'll write it under the cost per hour column. So that is important. So depreciation per year, it is 35,000 divided by working hours. Normal working hours of the machine, it is 2,000 hours. So 35,000 divided by 2,000 hours. So your depreciation per hour, it is 17.5. So this is how we need to calculate the depreciation. Always your depreciation is equal to cost of the asset. Suppose if any installation cost is given, that has to be added, minus if there is a scrap value is given, that has to be deducted, divided by your estimated life. So we will get depreciation per year. And then that has to be divided by the number of working hours. So we will get depreciation per hour. Next, we have repairs. So repairs charges, it is directly given in the question. Repairs and maintenance expenses, it is 5,000 per annum. So directly your 5,000 divided by normal working hours 2,000 hours. So your repairs per hour, it is 2.5. Next, we have power. So the power cost, it is not given directly. Instead, see the power consumption, it is 10 units per hour. So that means for 1 hour work, the unit consumption, it is 10 units. And the rate of power per 100 units, it is given. So for 100 units, it is rupees 100. For 1 unit, how much? So simply your 100 rupees divided by 100 unit. So the per unit cost of power, it is 1. So the power consumption per hour, it is 10. So your power units, that is 10 units per hour into rate per hour, it is 1. So 10 into 1, total 10 rupees, it is the power cost. So the power simply, what is the unit consumption for 1 hour into what is the per unit rate. So we will get the power charges or the power cost. So here unit consumption is 10 and the power rate rupees 100 divided by 100 unit, it is rupees 1 per unit. So the power charges is equal to 10 into 1, it is 10. So now all the three variable costs we have taken. Next what we need to do, we need to take the total of all the per unit or the per hour column. So that is your fixed charges per hour, your depreciation charges per hour, repair charges per hour and the power charges per hour. The total comes to 39.75. So that is your machine hour rate. So 39.75, or you can also consider it as rupees 40. So the machine hour rate, it is rupees 40 per hour. So this is how you need to solve the machine hour rate problem. So in the same way, next we'll move on to the second question. That is the calculation of the total earnings of worker A and B under both your Taylor's differential piece rate system and Merrick differential piece rate system. Both the method, how to calculate the earnings. So that is the question that has been asked in the last year. So now we'll see the solution of this one, how to solve the or how to calculate the total earnings. So see the question, calculate the earnings of worker A and B for the day of 8 hours. So that means you are calculating for the earnings of A and D for the day of 8 hours, means for 8 hours what is the earnings that you need to calculate. Under Taylor's differential piece rate system and Merrick differential piece rate system from the following particulars. So here the details it is given. From this you need to calculate what is your total earnings for the 8 hours of work. So now normal rate per hour it is rupees 24. So the rate fixed per hour it is 24. Then the standard time per unit it is 30 seconds. So that means the management of the organizations, they have given for the 1 unit of production, the standard time fixed or the standard time given, it is 30 seconds. So simply it means what? It is 0.5 minutes. 30 seconds we can convert into the minutes so that it will be easy for the calculation. So your 30 seconds means it is 0.5 minutes. Next, so the differentials to be applied, it is 80% of piece rate below the standard and 120% of piece rate above the standard. So that is when we apply the Taylor's method, the differential rate has to be applied here. One, it is 80% for the low piece rate and 120% for the high piece rate. And then workers A, he produces 800 units per day and worker B, he produces 1000 units, that is 8 hours work. In 8 hours, A produces 800 and B produces 1000 units. So for this question, what is the total earnings under your Taylor's and under the Merrick, under both the system that we need to calculate. So for the here, Taylor's differential piece rate system, we have the low piece rate and high piece rate percentage. But when we apply the Merrick differential system, he says that he has a multiple piece rate system. So that is below 83% of the standard, it is your 100% of the standard piece rate. So that is the one piece rate system of Merrick. Then from 83% to 100%, it is your 110% of the standard piece rate. Next, above 100%, your 120% is the standard piece rate. So this is the multiple piece rate system of the Merrick differential piece rate system. So before we calculate, you need to be very clear. Under Taylor's, it is 80% for the low piece rate and 120% of the high piece rate. When we calculate the Merrick system, so it is below 83% of the standard, it is 100% of piece rate. And if it is your standard or the efficiency between the 83% and the 100, then it will be 110% of the standard piece rate. And if the efficiency, if it is above the 100%, then it will be 120% of the standard piece rate. So these are the standard that is fixed under your Taylor's and under the Merrick. So for these questions, before we go for the calculating the total earnings, we need to calculate what is the standard piece rate. See the working note. First one, first calculation of the standard production per day of 8 hours. So here it is clearly given we are calculating the earnings for the 8 hours. So what is the standard time? It is 30 seconds per unit. That means 0.5 minutes. So standard production for 1 unit, if it is 0.5 minutes for 1 unit, for 60 minutes, what is the unit or the standard unit? So 60 minutes means we are calculating the standard production for first 1 hour. So for 1 hour, it is 120 units. So that means 30 seconds means 0.5 minutes. So in the 0.5 minutes, you can produce 1 unit. And in the 60 minutes, how many units you can produce? So we will get 60 into 1 divided by 0.5. So it is 120 units per hour. Then, therefore, the standard production for 8 hours. So, we are calculating the earnings for 8 hours. So, we will calculate what is the standard production for 8 hours. So, 120 units into 8 hours, your standard production it is 960 units. So, second calculation, what is the standard piece rate? That is SPR, it is very important. So, simply, what is the normal rate per hour divided by standard production per hour? See the question, normal rate per hour it is rupees 24. So, 24 divided by standard production per hour. So, that we have calculated per hour it is 120 units. So, your standard piece rate that is SPR it is 0.2. Always second important calculations that we have here it is what is the standard piece rate. So that is normal rate per hour divided by standard production per hour. So the normal rate it is given 24 per hour divided by production per hour it is 120 units. So your piece rate or standard piece rate it is 0.2. Next we'll calculate what is the differential piece rate under Taylor and under Merrick. So first we'll calculate under Taylor. He says that 80%. See here, differentials to be applied 80% and 120%. That is for Taylor's differential piece rate. So here, for the low piece rate, it is 80% of the standard piece rate. That is 80% into 0.2. His low piece rate is 0.16. Then high piece rate it is 120%. So 120% on standard piece rate that is 0.2. So the high piece rate is 0.24. So both the rate will apply under Taylor's. Now comes to the Merrick differential piece rate. Up to 83%, it is 100% on standard piece rate. 100% means as it is 0.2. Then from 83 to 100%, so this rate it is fixed. Under Merrick, this is the multiple piece rate that you have to take. And under Taylor's, this is the piece rate that you have to take. So yeah, up to 83, it is 0.2. Then 83 to 100%, then it is 110% of the SPR. So 0.2 into 110% means it is 0.22. Then above 100% means it is 120% on SPR. It is 0.2 into 120%. That means it is 0.36. So these are the three important working note that we need to calculate before we calculate the total earnings. So now we'll go for the total earnings under Taylor's differential piece rate system. So the particulars and worker A and worker B. So we'll calculate the total earnings. So first we'll take what is the actual output of the day. So here in the question, you have worker A produced 800, worker B produced 1000 units in a day of 8 hours. So we'll take what is the actual output 800 and 1000. Then standard production per day. So that we have calculated here. It is 960. For A and B, it is 960 for both the worker standard production. Then we need to calculate what is the rate of efficiency. So that is actual production, this one, divided by standard production into 100, we will get the rate of efficiency. So for A, actual production 800, standard production 960 into 100, your rate of efficiency it is 83.33%. Then for B, actual production is 1000, standard production is 960 into 100. So your rate of efficiency it is 104.17%. So now, what is the wage rate applicable? So always based on the rate of efficiency, we will decide whether the worker he'll get low piece rate or he'll get the high piece rate. Suppose this rate of efficiency, this is as per the Taylor method. If this rate of efficiency, if it is below 100, he will get low piece rate. And this rate of efficiency, it is above 100, he will get the high piece rate. So his rate of efficiency is 83%, that means it is below 100. So he will get low piece rate 0.16. So that's why we have calculated here low piece rate is 0.16. And worker B, his rate of efficiency is 104%. So that means he will get high piece rate. So we have calculated here high piece rate, it is 0.24. So that we'll take here. So last we'll calculate what is the total earnings for the day. So that is your piece rate. This rate into their actual production. So we will get the total earnings. So actual production of A, it is 800 and the piece rate he is getting it is 0.16. So the total earnings of A, it is rupees 128. Then for B, units it is 1000 into piece rate it is 0.24. So the total earnings of B, it is 240. So this is under the Taylor's differential piece rate method. So when we calculate under Merrick, everything it is same, only the piece rate applicable will be different. So that's why under Merrick we'll consider this one as a piece rate system. See the question next. Your Merrick differential piece rate system, same worker A and worker B, we are calculating the total earnings. So first we'll take actual output as it is 800 for A and B 1000 units. Then standard output also it is same 960 for both the worker. And then we have rate of efficiency, that is actual production divided by standard production into 100. So 800 divided by 960 to 100. So the same you will get. So what are the differential piece rate? Up to 83%, it is his rate of efficiency, it is 83%. So that means it is 100% on piece rate, standard piece rate, that is 0.2. Here he is having 104.17%. That means it is above 100%. So it is above 100%. So that means he will get 120% on standard piece rate. So that is 0.36. So that we have calculated here. If it is up to 83, 0.2, then above 100 he will get 0.36. So total earnings, finally we'll calculate the total earnings. So that is your piece rate applicable into actual production. So the production here 800 units into piece rate it is 0.2 and production here it is 1000 into 0.36. So it is 360 rupees. So this is how we need to calculate the total earnings under both the worker. So now we'll move on to the third question. So the third question they have asked, it is to solve the cost sheet. So always at your pattern, section B pattern, it is 10 into 3. So you will given with the 3 practical questions and 1 theory as an option. So here the option, you can write about the, if they ask about the difference between the cost accounting and the financial accounting, that is one important question. Apart from that, you can expect 3 practical questions. And one question that you have been asked, it is the cost sheet problem. See the question, the following particulars extracted from the costing records of Mr. Bahubali Limited for the year ending 31st/12/2024. So raw material purchased, it is 1 lakh. Then wages, you have both direct wage, indirect wage. Then office salary. So here in the given expenses, under which overhead that you need to write, so that you have to identify here. So raw material purchase means first element in your cost sheet, that is direct, the cost of material consumed. So there you will take the purchase of raw material. And wages, your direct wages, that is the second element in the cost sheet. And indirect wage, you will write it under the factory overhead. Then office salary, you will write it under the office overhead. Then opening stock of finished goods. So that is after your office and administration overhead, you will adjust there. Then Advertising, you will write it under selling and distribution overhead. Agent commission also, it is selling and distribution overhead. Rent, rates and taxes, you can write it in the office and administration overhead. Then work expenses, here work means it is always your factory or the production work. So that means you will write it under the factory overhead. Then building repairs. So here salaries, factory specifically mentioned, it is the factory overhead. Then depreciation on plant and machinery and building is given. Carriage inward, you will add it to the purchase. Then carriage outward means you will write it under the selling and distribution overhead. Then sales, final sales amount you have. Then opening stock of raw material it is given. Traveling expenses means your selling and distribution overhead. Power means it is factory overhead. Then plant maintenance means it is the factory overhead. Then miscellaneous charges on plant it is factory, and office, that means office overhead 2000. Next, building is occupied 9/10 by factory and 110 by the office. So the production here it is 20,000 units. You are required to prepare a cost sheet showing the total cost and the cost per unit. So here building space occupied by factory it is 9/10 and by the office it is 1/10. That means here your building repairs. So the 9/10 it goes to goes to the factory and 1/10 it goes to the office. So wherever you have the building charges, you need to apply it is 9:1 ratio between the factory and the office. So the total production units, it is 20,000. For this questions, you need to prepare one simple cost sheet. So see the solution part. Here we are preparing the cost sheet of Mr. Bahubali Limited. So the cost sheet for the year ending 31st/12/2024. And you need to produce it is 20,000 units. So we need one particular column, 3 amount column. Here this column it is only for the doing in a calculation, and main 2 column that we have it is the total cost column and the cost per unit column. So the first we'll take what is the raw material consumed. So here we'll take opening stock of raw material. So that is it given in your question. Opening stock of raw material is 40,000. To that, you need to add purchase of material. It is given in your question 1 lakh. And there is carriage inward also. That is 2,000. So you add these 3. So the amount you are getting it is 1,42,000. Next, less closing stock of raw material is 40,000. So the exact cost of raw material consumed is 1,02,000. So that we'll write it under the total cost column. Then 1,02,000 divided by 20,000. So the per unit rate or the cost per unit it is 5.1. Next, we have second element, direct wage. It is directly given 60,000. Again per unit also 60,000 divided by 20,000 units, it is 3. Next, we'll add these, and there is one more third element, that is direct expenses. If it is given in a question, then C will be the direct expenses. Then we'll add these. So we'll get the prime cost. So here in these questions, we don't have the direct expenses. So we'll add these 2. So the prime cost is 1,62,000. Next, add factory overhead. So all the indirect costs or the factory related expenses, we need to write it under the factory overhead. So here in this question, we have indirect wage 10,000, then work expenses 4,000, salary of factory it is 4,000, then depreciation of plant and machinery it is 4,000. Then building, so total depreciation 2,000. In that 9/10 it is the space given for the factory. So into 9/10, 1,800. Then power 2,000. Plant maintenance 8,000. Then miscellaneous expenses on plant 2,000. Then repairs of building again 2,000 into 9/10 it is 1,800. So we will take all these overhead, then do the total and write it in the total cost column. Your total factory overhead amount 37,600. So how do we calculate the per unit rate? 37,600 divided by 20,000, 1.88 is your per unit factory overhead. Then this amount will be added to the prime cost, 1,62,000 plus 37,600. So your factory overhead that we have, it is 1,99,600. So that is the factory cost. Again divided by 20,000. So it is 9.98 is the per unit factory cost. So next we'll add all the office and administration overhead. So here you have office salary, rent, rates and taxes, then building repairs 2,000, depreciation on building again 2,000 into 1 by 9. So that is 200, then miscellaneous expenses it is 2,000. So your total office and administration overhead it is 26,400. Next, we'll add it to the factory cost. So that we will get 2,26,000, it is the cost of production. To that, we need to adjust what is the opening stock of finished goods. So that is given in your question 10,000. So we'll get 2,36,000. Then again deduct closing stock of finished goods at 6,000. So your cost of goods sold it is 2,30,000. Next to that we'll add all the selling and distribution overhead. So you have advertising, agent commission, then carriage outward and traveling expenses. So all these will get the total of 24,000, and this 24,000 will add it to the cost of goods sold. So your total cost that we are getting it is 2,54,000. Then we'll write the sales amount. It is given in your question. Sales it is 4 lakh. So 2,54,000 minus 4 lakh. So your profit amount is 1,46,000. So that is the difference between the sales and the total cost. The profit we are getting it is 1,46,000. And for each element we need to calculate the per unit also. So simply your total cost divided by number of units, we will get the per unit rate. So this is how we need to calculate, or we need to prepare the cost sheet. And in the same way, for the 15 marks also, they will be asking the preparation of cost sheet and one tenders and the quotations, that is the preparation of estimated cost sheet. So these are all the section B part where you can expect the 10 marks 3 questions, where 1 theory questions they will be asking. They might ask the difference between the cost accounting and the financial accounting, as well as the what are the duties of the storekeeper. So these are all the certain theory question. And the practical part, you have to study about the machinery rate, then the labor cost, where you will be studying tailors and the medic, as well as the Halsey's and the Rowan's plans also you need to study. And then the cost sheet, how to prepare the cost sheet. So these are the questions that you need to be studying. Along with this one, there is another topics called your stock level. So that also you need to study for the 10 marks questions. And also sometimes they will be asking these weighted average, preparation of stores ledger account under the weighted average method. So these also you need to have a look into if they ask in the examination. So this is all about the today's session, and in the next sessions I'll be discussing about the 15 marks question. So we all meet in the next session. Thank you.